Because this is the most inspiring interview I have ever taken.
That's good. I was hit by a car when I was 10 years old.
In India, people believe in God, but I don't think, no offense, that Norwegians don't do that, right?
No. And you know when they bring you to a silent room, there's never good news.
There is this one thing when you are meditating, you have to speak to yourself. Namaste from Norway, guys. My name is Arvind and welcome back to our channel. So guys, today's video will be in English because today we have a Norwegian guest with us, and we already made a video with one of the Norwegian guests, but she spoke in Hindi, so the video was in Hindi. But today we have someone who doesn't speak Hindi, but she is into yoga and she follows it by her heart. So let us see who she is. So yes, so she is Silje, and so welcome till Namaste from Norway. That is the only Norwegian I speak.
I know.
Yes. So Silje, please tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, where you come from, and about your professional life.
I'll make a short version of it.
Yes.
So I'm Silje Løkeng. I'm 42 years old and born in the northern part of Norway. So where we're situated now is quite far south in Norway. We moved here 12 years ago, and prior to that, I was an officer in the army.
Wow.
So so I did 6 years in the army, and we ended up choosing to go out of the army because we got 2 kids, and we wanted to spend as much time with them as possible, which was a good idea because our son Martin, he got sick when he was 4.5 years old, and he had his hip disorder. Ended up in a wheelchair and needed a lot of support and surgeries and stuff like that. So so being here in this home is actually built for him, all on one floor, so that he could use his wheelchair around all the building. So we started off in the army, and then I moved on to HSE. So I'm a HSE specialist, and now I work in oil and gas for Technique FMC, where I'm being responsible for Norway. So that means that I have all the responsibility to make sure that we are legally compliant when it comes to work environment in Norway, which is very strict, by the way.
Okay, Silje, so just for my curiosity, how hard is to be in the Norwegian army? Because I know some of my friends who are in Indian army, it's really hard for them, and some of them, they're just enjoying their life.
It was pretty hard. When you come first, then there's a huge selection. So you'll be like 600 people going for maybe 60 spaces for training. So, and through that, that's physical and mental challenges you will be put against. So that means that you carry heavy weight, you go into the forest, you go skiing, you do everything to make sure that you're fit for purpose, basically, and which is being a good soldier.
And I believe you met your husband in the army?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
So we were...
So how romantic is it to be in army?
Well, it's not
going out on dates? Or?
Yeah, no, it's not very romantic. No, it was... I think we had common interest, basically. Well, of course we did. But we like to be outdoors, both of us, and go kayaking, paddling, climbing, do all of the physical stuff outdoors. So that's where we kind of found common ground. And then we've been together now for 19 years.
Wow.
That's quite impressive. So I think that has been our common ground. I think the kids and the fact that we have interests that we share together is basically what has kept us going.
So what I am learning from what you are sharing, like, so life was all good, right? Everything was happening what you wanted. You were in army, then in Technique, you have a beautiful house, but then sudden changes, like the life hit you in some way. So can you just share it with us? How did it hit you?
Well, the first thing that happened to me actually, which was kind of the start of my physical challenge, was that I was hit by a car when I was 10 years old. So it actually started before that. It was a really severe incident, and it left me with injuries both to my neck and my head and my spine. So, but I learned to live with that pain, and that I get migraines and headaches and stuff like that. I learned to live with that. So I had control of that, and I had basically no problem living with that. And then we had Martin, as I mentioned, that he got sick. So I felt like life had treated me fairly, like, not unreasonable, but it's been hard. So I had been through a lot of challenges. And then at the age of 40, I found a lump in my left breast. And I didn't think that it would be cancer, because I wasn't really scared of that. But I have checked myself for a long time, because my cousin got breast cancer a few years prior to me. And that's quite important to do that, to check yourself on a regular basis. So if you feel any changes and you feel any lumps, then go to the doctor. And so that's what I did. I found a lump. I went to the doctor and said, hey, this probably needs to be checked out. And I was sent to mammography. And then during that time, the doctor did the mammography, and then we did ultrasound. And she said that I need you to step outside, because I want to get an MR scan of you. And then I was sitting outside in the waiting room, and then she came back, and you know this look that they get when things are serious. So I basically saw her with this piece of paper, and then she come walking towards me, and then she says, come follow me to the silent room. And you know, when they bring you to a silent room, there's never good news. So I just burst down in tears and realized that, she is going to tell me now that I have cancer. And I think the reason why I broke so hard was because I had this history of just, a lot of challenges. So I thought, not this, like, I can't deal, it's just too much. So basically after that, I was really, really lucky. It was detected very early. That was because I had checked myself on a regular basis. So that meant that I only had to have surgery, but I had pre-stages of cancer in my cervix as well, so I had to remove everything. So it's basically, ripping out everything that's female in you, that's what the feeling I got. So I went through surgeries for that, approximately like 4 to 5 months. I had several surgeries. We tried to keep my breast, but it wasn't possible towards the end, so we just removed everything. So in January 2020, I was basically going back to my life, trying to be Silje as I knew her, but everything within me had changed. So the perspective I had in life, my relationship was difficult. It was, I felt like I was ripped apart inside, both physically and mentally, but no one could see it because I didn't lose my hair, I didn't have chemotherapy, and all the surgeries were done on the inside, so no one could really tell how damaged I really was. And I couldn't look at myself because losing a breast felt like I lost my femininity. So just looking in the mirror, I couldn't look in the mirror because I started like throwing up because I thought it was really, really hard. So I realized that I had to do something, but the first year I was kind of faking it in a way. I went to a coach, I went to a therapist, and I tried dealing with the mental stuff. And that helped a lot, but I didn't push really through it, because what happened was that when you live in a lie in a way, because that's how it felt for me, that I was trying to be this normal Silje, and inside I just felt that everything was wrong. I was not connected with myself. I didn't, I couldn't look at myself. I thought I lost my confidence at work. So it became really, really hard. And that's when the mental spiral went downwards. And towards Christmas 2020, I was starting to feel really depressed. And I had a lot of pain because of the medicine that I was on. My joints were aching. I was having lots of migraines. And I just felt like this isn't worth it. I can't live like this for 40 more years. It's just gonna be really hard for me. So that's when I started having this thoughts of not killing myself, but I could walk past the river and think that I would be so much better off if I can just go into the river and just go with the flow. And it's not like I wanted to die, but I just wanted to get rid of all the pains and all the struggles that I felt, both physically and mentally. And with being a HSE professional, I had the tools to get out of this, so I knew what to do. So I basically had to bring out those tools and start doing it myself. So we know that physical activity helps on your mental health as well. So that's what I did. I said to myself that now, Silje, you're going to go for a walk every day for a full year. So 365 days of being outdoors every single day. And then I knew that yoga and meditation also helps on the mental perspective, and also on my joints, because it was really painful. So I started that up at 6 o'clock every morning, doing yoga and meditation, going to work, and then going for walks after work. And sometimes midday, if we have a long lunch, then I could go middays as well. So in the beginning, it was hard to feel the changes. It took a while, and I still had struggled about my body. I couldn't look at myself. Everything was still hard. But I did these small steps of challenging myself mentally. So, for example, I'm so scared of being outdoors alone and sleeping in tents out in the woods alone. But then I thought that if I could challenge myself to do that and kind of have that fulfillment of doing it, then I would have more power. I would take more power back to myself. So that was the first thing I did, was sleeping in a tent alone. It was 20 minus degrees. It was super cold. But basically I visualized that the tent was all my fears. Mm-hmm. And then if I could take control of that, then I would take the power back. Mm-hmm. And it worked really well. I did it, and it was fine. I slept well, and it wasn't really a problem. And after that, it started shifting in a way, because then I felt like I took the power back.
Yeah. But I have a very important question for you, right? So when you were going through such an incident in your life, so I mean, what was one thing? Was your family around you? Was that your main strength when your even mental levels were not high? Because in India, I would just say one thing. In India, people believe in God. But I don't think, no offense, that Norwegians don't do that, right?
No.
So for us, it is like, okay, God will help me. We just pray to that Almighty, and then I don't know whether the strength comes in. So what was for you? What was that thing?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely spiritual. So I have a belief that there's something there. If I call it God or whatever I call it, I believe that there is something around us that cares for us. So that for me is more like energy. So bringing that energy down to me in a way has been, and that's when I use yoga and meditation, is because I think that someone is caring for me, definitely, but I also have to care for myself. So I have to take that responsibility myself and not leave it up to someone else to make changes within my life. But yeah, I think having that belief, and also having my family and friends around me, I got a lot of support from my colleagues, from my friends, from my family. But it was hard to help me because I didn't share a lot. So that's what I said. The first year when I was faking it, basically, people thought that I was doing really well, that I had recovered well, that everything. I didn't share about my pains. I didn't share about my thoughts. Stuff like that. So that was a learning process for me, to start talking about my feelings, about the struggles that I had physically, and verbalizing them in a way, which I think a lot of Norwegians can relate to this, because we are not we're very practical people. So, and also we like to push through, okay, you had a problem, we'll fix it, and then we'll move on.
I just want to talk a bit about yoga and meditation. So how soothing or how calming, or what share would you give it to, how it helped you?
Yeah. So for me, when the medicine, because I have to take medicine to prevent the cancer from coming back, and those are hormone medicines, so they're really strong on my body. So my joint hurts, especially the bigger joint hurts, and my muscles. So what I do with the yoga is that I keep my body going in a way, and use my entire body throughout that process. And I spend maybe like 40 minutes a day on it, and it's become like a ritual for me, and it's not advanced at all, but I think it's better to do something that you feel comfortable with than not doing it at all. So it builds the core strength in me. I definitely see that I become stronger from it, but I think the most important step is the inner peace that I feel, that I get balanced, I find my focus point, I feel more complete in a way when I do it. So it's been very helpful.
So I mean, I will just share something with you, because when I was in India, I never did yoga. No. But when I was in Stavanger, so in this gym, we had a big yoga hall, and there was this Om. And I just thought a lot of Norwegians going over there. So I said, okay, I'm an Indian, let me go, right? So I just started over there, and it was really, really rewarding. And towards the time when Silje was pregnant with Eva for the first time, then I was totally into it. Like literally deep down, where you feel that there is something, and you can even, watch your thoughts. Yes. You know that when the anger is coming and when it is not coming. So the few things what I learned, I would just like to share with everyone. There is this one thing when you are meditating, you have to speak to yourself in your mind, definitely, and which is, it comes from the Vedanta, like the spiritual books which we have, and Upanishads. They say that you just repeat these 3 sentences: that you are not this body, you are not this mind. No. Yes, so it's like that. So if you know that, that you are this, so you are this bliss, consciousness, bliss, like Sat Chetanand, which is like, and you are ever expanding. Yeah. So if you keep on repeating it, the pains go away. Yeah. So
I'm trying to like push away from the ego, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
So it's being like this kind, gentle person is basically what you need to be in life, and then everything else is your ego just talking. If there's something you need to, do to accomplish, and I'm not saying that you're not supposed to aim for higher goals, but it has to come with a purpose.
With a purpose, exactly. So that is good. And then towards the end, what is your personal message? Because this is the most inspiring interview I have ever taken.
That's good.
So I mean, it's for me, you are a living legend, and for others as well. That
That's very sweet of you.
What would you like to say to all of the people who see this? First of all, because I definitely believe your problems were at a much higher level than a salary increase or something, not getting a job, right? But then those who are in this, okay, but Krishni, it's fine. Yeah. But those who are in this stage where you were, so what is like the core message which you would like to?
Yeah. So the most important thing when you are hitting challenges in your life is to make sure that you take one step at a time. Going through something that's painful for you, both physically and emotional, is a process. So there's never a quick fix. And you have to be able to push yourself out of the comfort zone to accomplish a better life for yourself. So basically, by doing so, you will become better, you will feel better, and make sure that you share with the people around you how you're feeling, and allow them to care for you, allow them to support you throughout that process. So that's basically my biggest
mantra,
one step at a time. That's what I say all the time. One step at a time, and try to stay in the process, basically.
So yes, guys, hopefully in whatever state of the mind you are currently, whatever are the circumstances around you, so I believe this video and Silje's experience, it will definitely spark a new beginning in yourself, right? So continue that spark into a big flame of fire, so that you can move out from this difficult situation, and as Silje said, one step at a time, and move out of your comfort zone. So thanks a lot, Silje. It was really pleasing.
It was really nice talking to you.
Same here. So hopefully, guys, you might find some inspiration in it. So that's it for today. Namaste from Norway.
Namaste from Norway.